Guys, it's March 21. I think this is Thursday. So Roger's going to be out here, so I probably won't film a lot today. But the way I understand is we take a transit and we hit all of these stakes so we know that we find the even point on all of these stakes that are all the way around. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but he's supposed to meet me out here in a few minutes and we'll get that taken care of. All right, that's the plan. We're finally making a little bit of progress on this building stuff. All right, guys, Roger left and just wanted to show you what we did and where we're at. So we had a transit set up right around here and we shot the line, as you can see, little black marks on each one of these. So I will be digging now all the way around, down 7 inches, to be able to apply a 2x6. So a 2x6 will go, the top of it will go right here and down with an inch underneath, and then I'll put the next one right on top. So where we're at like 7 inches off the ground, I don't have to do any digging. But as we go down here toward this end, we didn't get this quite low enough. So I'm going to be doing some digging. And it ain't going to be fun because this ground is hard. So Roger brought me his little rototiller here, a little electric one. So I can bring over my generator, plug that in, and do a little digging here. So I think that's gonna be the next thing I do. Bring the generator over and try doing a little bit of rototilling, but I don't want to get too close to these stakes right now because then they're just all gonna fall over. So I need this to be about 15 inches wide for the footer, and so I'll just do kind of out here on the edge and get it going, and then I need to go by my 2x6s so that I can start that process. Sorry, I'm thinking about things. I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of solution, some kind of thing where the stake stays in the ground, but there's gonna be a 2x6 attached to it without those stakes falling over. So all right, guys, pardon the goofy hat. You know what? I've gotten burnt enough that I don't care. I think this is going to help protect my face and my neck, so I'm going to wear it while I'm out here. So this is what I got going on. I've got the generator going on and this little rototiller. I don't know what else you'd call it. I feel because it's like electric and little, I wouldn't really call it a rototiller, but I don't know. And I'm going to go ahead and tear up the ground along here. I might not get much done, but at least kind of loosen things up. Roger said it'd be better that before I get into this too much is to actually have the 2x6s so I can attach them and have something to go off of to know how deep to go. But I can get a little bit of a rough cut in anyway. That's about what I'm going to do right now. Okay, guys, I'm going to say this. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of this by hand. I already started with this, and it's just not going to... This clay and dirt's too much for it. I'll give you a show of what it's doing here. See how that's working. You come down here, I'm gonna have to go way down here, see how close the marks are to the ground. I have to go 7 inches below those. This down here is just almost, some of it's almost the first couple of sticks I don't even really hardly need to dig. So, but yeah, I'm gonna maybe take this down there to that end and see if it happens to be softer, but I don't think it is. Have to do some pickaxing I wish we would have got this right, because then I wouldn't have to be doing so much digging. Would have been better to spend another day remeasuring this and using the tractor. Alright guys, this is going to take me a long time. Thank goodness it's not the whole thing that I have to do. What I'm doing is I've come up with a combination. Take the pickaxe, get at it a little bit, then take this little rototiller thing and kind of dig at it some more, and then take the garden hoe and pull dirt out of the way, and then do it all over again. So that's what that's the system I've developed for right now. I don't know if that's what I'm going to stick with the whole time, if that's what's going to work, but it seems to be doing okay. So that's the system I got going on, and it would be nice to have the 2x6s so I could see exactly how deep to go, and I think I'm going to try a couple of times without even using this little rototiller thing, because it's costing me gas on the generator running, and it seems like all it does is just kind of break up the dirt, which isn't really all that necessary. So I'm going to do a couple rounds without using it and see how that works. All right guys, it probably doesn't look like much, but this has been some of the hardest work I've done on this property. Again, makes me appreciate the tractor. Also, I realize that my inexperience costs me a lot of work. I don't know if Roger just didn't think about this, or it's part of the game. I don't know. I mean, part of just what we have to do. If there was some way to have done this before I put these stakes in yesterday, that rototiller does not dig in here at all, so I have to pickaxe and shovel all the way. And this has taken at least 2 hours, and I am pooped. Got my hands taped up with duct tape inside my glove because I'm getting blisters all over inside my hands. Yeah, this is hard work. This is how much water I got left. So when that goes, I'm done. But I really wish that I could have finished today, but I don't know. My mind wants to finish, but I don't think time or my body is going to let me finish. So this is the longest. If I can at least get all the way down there to the end, that's the longest strip. That whole back side also has to be done. And then the other half here is going to have to be done, but a lot less digging. It's going to be a lot easier. So yeah, I'm going to keep on working on it and doing my best. And then when I can't go no more, then I can't go no more, right? All right, guys, I think I've reached my limit. I got all the way down here to the end and started to turn the corner. And a big problem here is that the pipe is sticking above where we need. It had been good to be down another 3 inches at least. So that means to me, I'm not digging this up, that we need to raise everything. Which means this, I dug too deep then all the way down, because it's going to need to come up for that. And that means this stuff doesn't have to go as deep either. Once I get to this corner over here, you can see I don't know if you can see the black lines are a lot higher. Once we get to here, I don't have to dig nearly as much. But right now, the lines are sitting on the ground, which means I gotta go pretty low. And I would push myself to go. And you can't see it that well, but I'm starting to get blisters. And this spot right here is the worst. You can see that. I had duct tape over it, trying to protect my hands, but I think I'm just going to pay for it if I keep pushing it. I can't. I can't keep holding on to the handles. Just hurting too bad. So it was supposed to rain tomorrow, 75% chance of rain, but I'm looking at it and it looks like it's just cloudy most of the day, and it's not, if it's going to rain, I guess it's going to rain in the evening. So maybe this hands will heal up enough. It can be bearable to get out here in the morning and finish this up. Okay guys, I'm taking a chance on this. I'm winding things up here and packing, but I brought this out with me today because I got it delivered to the house. This is an option to not have to buy forklift tines. Oh, this is heavy duty looking. This is supposed to be able to lift 4,000 pounds, which is way more than my tractor's supposed to pick up. So what do we got? We got, this is the connecting bar. I don't know what these are about, but so this can go between them to give more support. And you got two of these guys that's going to fit on. Oh, man. That's heavy. All right. That's pretty cool, man. I like it. So we'll see how it works. All right, guys, happened again. You know, you're running 4K on this camera. I guess I go through memory really fast, so it ran out on me again there. But this time, like most times, I was prepared and had extra memory cards. But I went ahead and put this together so you can just see. I think that's going to be kind of cool. You know, I'm not expecting it to be like an attachment. The biggest pain is these. I don't understand the point of them really. But these are just loose piece of metal that you tighten down on. And then this thing adjusts so I could go out really far or close. I mean, that much closer, I guess, to give it a little more stability. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think the backhoe attachment, I was quoted as nearly $1,000. I mean, not backhoe attachment, I'm sorry, the forklift attachment, to be able to just take off your bucket and then you put a forklift attachment on, which, what a pain if all you're doing is just taking one off and putting the other on just to move a couple of pallets and put the front loader back on, because you're always going to need front loader. That's what's going to be on all the time. That's like close to $1,000. This was about 150, I think. So we'll see if I got what I paid for, or if it turns out to be something that I can really appreciate the advantages of it, and the fact that I can just go down and put it with my attachments, lay it on the ground, and then when I need to pick up some pallets, I just go down and hook this up. It's probably going to be probably going to be my easiest attachment. And this is actually, you can put chains here, and I guess you could also probably put 2x4s in here if you wanted to make a straight up and down thing, so you could attach stuff to it, tie it down more securely. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it actually. All right, guys, I think it's definitely after 3. Maybe closer to 3:30, I don't know. My hands may not look super bad, but they hurt. So I wrapped it up, went ahead and hooked that forklift connector up. That was pretty cool. Put that thing away, put everything else away, and now I'm going to head over to the county and see. I went there yesterday and to check. They had said that last week they would have the septic thing all taken care of and I could apply for my building permit. And I still came in at the end of this week, or yesterday. Half of the week has gone by, and it was supposed to have been done last Friday. And they hadn't done it. Nothing filed away. So She told me to go ahead and come in today anyway if I want, and she'll figure it out. So I'm gonna swing by there. Yeah, it's a little 310, and I remember last time when I needed to pay, they don't take checks after 4 o'clock, so leaving now is a good thing also. So I will probably come out tomorrow and try to finish the digging stuff for the foundation all the way around. Hopefully my hands will be all right, or I'll figure out something to protect them. I had them covered in duct tape and it didn't help. So anyway, I will see you guys the next time I'm out here. Morning, everybody. It is March 22, Friday. And I'm just back out here to finish up, I think. If my hands will take it, I got a Band-Aid on today. This is probably not so bad, but the middle of my palm was bad from yesterday. I hope I can do it. Gonna go ahead and try to finish this up and dig that border for the foundation. It is drastically cooler than yesterday. It's supposed to start raining today at about 3, and I think it's in the low 50s right now. Yesterday was the opposite. It was sunny and hot. Probably, I think it was low 70s when I left, mid 70s. So yeah, 9:30. Let's see, what time is it right now? It is 9:44. So I just have a few hours here. Hopefully it won't take me too long as my hands aren't killing me, to get the other half of that done. So that's the plan. Let's get after it. Let's get to work. Okay, guys. I wasn't really going to film much of this because I know it's probably pretty boring to just watch somebody dig by hand. But I thought I'd film just like a little bit so you get an idea of why it's taking me so long and how hard it is. This is some rocky, like clay stuff. This is the corner, the end that I'm having to dig the most. And back there where I put the pipes in, that was a little bit easier because I had dug with a backhoe, so I loosened it all up. But down here, this is some pretty rough stuff. It's hard. It's not feeling very good on my hands. I can do this end here and it gets more at a time wider, but sometimes I have to use this pick end to actually even make any progress, like to go deeper. So kind of the new area that I'm cutting into, I'll use this end. I don't know, I just kind of feel it out. I know when I use the other end I'm not going to go as deep, but it's also not as hard to go in deep and then have to pull your pick back out. This goes deep but doesn't seem to get as much done. So however you want to say that. And I have to get down here 7 inches below this line. So I just do a few feet and I'm stuck there for half hour or so. I'm just going picking, and then I take my flat shovel after I pick all that. I feel like I got more than what I did. Didn't look like I went down at all. It's a bit frustrating, but once I get around this corner, hopefully it's going to be a little bit better. A little less deep to go. And it was nice and chilly a while ago. Once I started working, it's hot. I'm hot. It's not hot outside, but I'm hot. All right, guys, I got the hard part done, I think. I'm still not sure what's going to be the solution for this pipe being above the grade. I don't know if I'm going to have to cut it off, which would make me cry since I work so hard and it goes all the way out to there. Or we raise all the stakes a little bit. I don't know. So one of the mistakes that we made was, as I said, these lines have to be 7 inches above the ground, because you're going to have 2x6 here, 2x6 above here, and two 6x6s don't add up to 12 inches. It's going to be a little less than that, maybe close to an inch. And with the cement block going in the middle, it has to be able to go, I guess, 1 inch deeper. So anyway, one of the mistakes we made was not making sure that these were hammered in deep enough. Roger had asked me how far I got them in before we ever came out here, and I said, well, most of them like at least 4 or 5 inches. And he said, oh, that's good enough. But the problem is they're now not, they're above the grade where they need to be, and they're going to just fall off. So I'm having to hammer some of them down deeper, and so I had to do this one. So what I did was I put a black mark, my black marker, on top of the ones that I hammered down, so it'll remind me that when my 2x6s aren't lining up with those, that the marks are a little bit off. It'll be like, oh yeah, I had to hammer that down a little bit, and it'll remind me. So another mistake that I feel like we've made is that we could have dug this better. I could have backhoed this all along the outside, or taken the box scraper and just scraped in a corner, you know, along the edges before I ever put the sticks in, if I had a better idea of what was coming. This is my first time doing any of this, so I can't think ahead. I don't know what's coming up next. So, yeah, I could have saved myself a lot of work by coming up with some solution to do this dig before we ever got this in. Other thing that we could have fixed was to make the stakes go in further. And then to think about that pipe as well, as that being a potential problem. So those are the mistakes so far. Now I measured this stake here and this stake so far, and they're at 7 inches, so I'm not gonna have to really dig much here. I'm just gonna kind of scrape it, and then I'll start measuring that one down there. So hopefully I'm on my final stretch here. I also, Roger had said throw the dirt to the inside, but I threw it to the outside, a small portion of it out there, because it's supposed to start raining today and then rain tomorrow. And I just want that to maybe do a little catch and divert some of this water from piling and pulling a bunch of dirt into my trench. I don't know if it's going to accomplish what I want it to or not, but that was the idea. Alright, this is a little bit easier because I'm able to use the garden hoe. It's a longer stick. I don't have to bend over. I'm not having to push that flat shovel into stuff, so it's a little bit easier. You might have noticed that I was kind of barely chipping away there. I wasn't doing any heavy work, hard work. Well, it was hard, but I'm not digging in too deep, and that's because these lines are pretty close. They're about 6 inches off, so I'm going about an inch deeper. And on the side next to the stakes, some of those are already at 7, but I feel like the land is kind of tilted a little bit like this. And because this is going to have to be 15 feet or 15 inches wide, you're going to have that block, and then you're going to have two 2x6s on each side. So Roger said it's going to, and then with the stake, it's going to be about 15 inches. So I'm trying to I'm not going to get it perfect, and I'm going to have to do some more work later, I'm sure. But I'm doing my best to get a fairly flat, so I'll have minimal work to do when I go ahead and doing the exact work where I'm laying stuff on the ground. So that's what we're doing. I still have all these stakes to do, and then all the way around here. But those, I'm sure, are all about 7 or 8 inches off the ground until I get to right here. So from here to there, I'm going to have to do, this is quite a bit of digging, unfortunately, but it gets less and less that way and gets less and less that way. But this is the center point that I'm going to have to dig down on. All right, guys, I don't know. I think I started like around 9-ish, and now it's a little bit after noon, so that took me another like approximately 3 hours. But from this corner here to about this pipe took me 3 or 4 hours yesterday. But to go from about this pipe all the way around here, that was about 3 hours. Obviously a lot less digging, thank goodness. I like getting the hard sides done first. I'm glad I did I didn't know that was going to be the harder side, but I'm glad it was. So I got that done. So yeah, finished. So next step is to call Roger out and have him take a quick look at this and make sure, see if he's got a plan for that pipe down there, if he knows something we can do. Oh, this is my hand. I had a Band-Aid on it and it just destroyed the Band-Aid. And yeah. Oh well. Tomorrow's gonna rain, so I probably won't be out here, and it'll give my hand a chance to recover a little bit. Nothing major left for the day. I'm glad I got this done earlier, that way just in case it starts raining a little bit earlier, I'm done. I am gonna do a couple little odds and ends. I'm gonna take compost down and dump it and check on my worms and maybe be done for the day. A couple little things there. I'm thinking about taking the lids off these water totes too, just so maybe they'll catch a little water. I haven't brought water out for the last couple days, which I could have done, but I think it's going to rain. Maybe I can catch some rain. All right, guys, came over here to the compost pile to dump stuff. This looks a little suspicious. There was a few holes, but it looks like something ate through that so it can get down into the compost. That's something that I didn't want happening. I don't want to attract a bunch of animals coming in here. Let's see what we got down here, if we can tell if something's been in here or not. Definitely looks like something tore in there. Well, I guess it's going to be hard to tell if something's in there or not. I've been kicking a little bit of dirt in on things. You know? Actually, down there at the very bottom, this tarp is crashing in on me. Right down there, I see a hole. Down in there. Looks like something crawled in there. Huh. Alright, well, hopefully things are breaking down here, and I guess I'll have to share with the animals a little bit. Alright, I've started a second layer for the worm compost. I just dug down in the bottom, and they're all on the bottom, and they're feisty and healthy, and they're all clumped together. Seem to be all okay. So I took a few and I threw them up here on the top just to let them know they can come up there. I don't know. When I did it, I was thinking, oh, this will introduce them to a new area. They can go back down through the holes, but they know they can come back up, but I don't think they had a brain for that. So I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I only threw a few in there. Threw a little bit of everything that I put in the first one, except for cardboard. I didn't put any cardboard in this one. Coconut coir and peat moss and a little bit of a soil mixture, and then some compost stuff in there, and then I wet it a little bit, so should be good. Hopefully it works out. So far so good. Everything's alive. The bottom is starting to look pretty good, actually. It's starting to look broke down. Alright guys, I have good news. I just called Roger about this pipe that's over here. So I think maybe I'm sorry if I mislead you guys or mistalk or something sometimes. I think I might understand something and I don't, and I have it wrong. I guess what we do is we put forms and we just pour concrete for the first foot or something, and then we'd be putting block on top of that. I thought the block was going to go directly on the ground, but I'm thinking not, because what Roger is saying now is that we can, that first 2x6 is going to fit over that pipe. We can just notch around it, and we'll pour concrete right on top of that. So he thinks that should work and be fine, because that's going to be two 2x6s piled on each other on both sides for the forms, and then the concrete will go over the top of it. So hopefully it will be fine. I think that's about it. I didn't buy any supplies yet because it's going to rain and I don't want stuff sitting out here in the weather. And Roger agreed when I just told him. When I get a couple of pallets, maybe stage them here. I got all kinds of places to choose from. I can stage them here. I can stage down here, and get a couple of tarps and make sure all my stuff's covered up so I don't have wood getting wet and warping and all that stuff. So, and just keeping whatever I'm going to work with from getting soaked. So that'll be the plan. Probably not going to be out here tomorrow since it's going to rain. And I think on Sunday I'm going to get a side of beef. Not a side of beef, half a cow. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to get a freezer delivery. It was supposed to be today. I missed it. Shame on me. So tomorrow it's coming, and we'll get that all set up. And that's exciting to get some good quality beef. We know where it came from. It's local, grass finished, grass fed, all good stuff. All right, I guess we'll see you guys the next time I'm out here. Yeah, I think the next time I'm out here.